A woman may admire many men, but she only chases the one she knows is impossible to replace. Machiavelli taught a timeless truth: value comes from scarcity, not effort. When you live with purpose, when your time has standards, when your discipline shapes your identity, she feels the difference instantly. You stop being another option. You become the reference point she silently compares every other man to. And that, right there, is where the chase begins. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to become the man a woman fears losing, respects immediately, and pursues consistently. The psychology of scarcity. Most men have no idea what truly makes a woman chase. They assume it's humor, charm, compliments, or constant attention. They think if they just do enough, she'll stay. This is the biggest mistake men make. Modern psychology and ancient philosophy reveal a different truth. Women, like all humans, are drawn to scarcity, mystery, and perceived value. Anything that is too easy to obtain loses its allure. If you're always available, always texting back instantly, always ready with attention, you become ordinary. Predictable. Forgettable. Her mind doesn't spark. Her curiosity doesn't activate. Her desire doesn't grow. Research proves this repeatedly. Humans desire what feels limited or difficult to fully have. This is the scarcity principle. When your time, your energy, and your attention are not freely available, her interest intensifies. Machiavelli explained this brilliance centuries ago. Men judge more from appearances than from reality. Humans read signals more than words. Women sense your self-value, your boundaries, and your emotional discipline long before you say a single sentence. And availability kills the signal. If she knows she can have your attention whenever she wants, your value plummets. Scarcity, on the other hand, creates fascination. When you manage your time and energy deliberately, you send one powerful message. My presence is rare. I am not easy to have. Women feel this on a subconscious level. She studies your calmness, your focus, your silence. Suddenly, you become someone she notices, even when you're not trying. Imagine a room full of men trying to impress women. Then imagine one man who doesn't try at all. Calm, focused, purposeful. He speaks only when needed. He becomes the center of silent attention. That is the power of deliberate scarcity. Presence over words. Most men think attraction comes from what they say. It doesn't. Women are drawn to how a man carries himself, not the words he uses. Your energy speaks louder than your voice. Your stillness, your composure, your intentional movements, they communicate confidence in a way words never can. Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." Stop explaining. Stop trying to impress. Stop performing. Just be the man, calm, grounded, disciplined. Machiavelli echoed the same truth. Real power isn't forced. It's felt. That's how presence works. A calm man in a crowded room draws attention simply by existing. Women glance at him again and again, not because of what he says, but because of what he radiates. Control, confidence, and quiet dominance. Words fade. Presence imprints itself. A man with emotional control, who doesn't overreact, doesn't seek validation, doesn't chase, automatically gains authority. That authority is magnetism. It makes you unpredictable, intriguing, and rare. Presence is silent power. And women feel it before they understand it. Standards and boundaries. A woman respects a man who respects himself first. When you lack boundaries, when you give too much, when you tolerate disrespect, when you compromise your standards, you signal low value. Not kindness. Not loyalty. Just low value. Boundaries are clarity. Boundaries are identity. Boundaries are power. They communicate that your time, attention, and energy are privileges, not freebies. Machiavelli understood this when he wrote, "Make them value your presence by showing you can disappear." Absence creates respect. Consistent availability destroys it. A man with standards becomes rare automatically. A man who walks away from disrespect becomes unforgettable. She starts chasing not because you demanded respect, but because you embodied it. Boundaries separate you from the masses. They turn scarcity into respect, and respect into attraction. Purpose and direction. A man with a clear purpose is magnetic without even trying. Not because of his clothes, his humor, or his looks, but because direction creates a powerful aura of certainty and competence. Psychology tells us humans are drawn to those who know where they are going. Women feel this instinctively. A man on his mission radiates confidence without speaking. Nietzsche said, "He who has a why to live can bear almost any how." Purpose creates strength. Strength creates self-respect. Self-respect creates attraction. A man with goals naturally becomes more disciplined, more unpredictable, and more focused, and women feel that intensity immediately. Purpose makes you scarce. Scarcity makes you desirable. And desire makes her chase. Most men spend their lives reacting to attention, reacting to circumstances, reacting to approval. But a man with purpose operates differently. He isn't shaped by the world. He shapes the world around him. A purposeful man is proactive. He chooses his path, sets his pace, and refuses to bend under expectations. Women sense this instinctively. They notice he can't be controlled, predicted, or fully understood. And that combination, mystery and competence, creates fascination. She begins to follow his lead not because he asks, but because she feels a natural pull toward his vision. Purpose isn't fake productivity. It's intentional living. It's choosing where your time, energy, and attention go. A man who builds his life around meaningful goals naturally radiates authority. Women pick up on the calm decisiveness in his movements, the clarity in his eyes, and the precision of his actions. These subtle signals speak louder than charm, louder than compliments, louder than words. Machiavelli understood this centuries ago. When a man controls his own life, he becomes magnetic, respected without asking, desired without effort, influential without force. Women are drawn to men who are building, creating, and moving forward because they sense direction, power, and stability. Purpose also protects your value. When your life has direction, you don't waste time on distractions or people who don't match your energy. Your attention becomes scarce, and that scarcity makes you extremely desirable. She sees that your world cannot be easily disrupted. She realizes you're not a man who can be replaced. You carry a presence that commands respect and draws pursuit. Purpose transforms a man's entire energy. It creates inner confidence, radiates outward, sparks curiosity, and naturally inspires women to chase. Women aren't drawn to men who are aimless, reactive, or desperate. They chase the man who moves with intent, with vision, with direction. Purpose makes you magnetic. Purpose makes you unpredictable. Purpose makes you unreplaceable. And that's when she begins to chase, naturally, instinctively, because she feels a life she can't fully predict and a man she cannot possess. The subtle pull. Attraction is rarely loud. It isn't created through showing off or trying too hard. True attraction is subtle. It's a quiet influence, calm, deliberate, invisible, yet incredibly powerful. Machiavelli wrote that the strongest forms of power are the ones that remain unseen. The same is true in seduction. You don't push a woman into chasing. You don't beg, force, or manipulate. You create the conditions for desire, and let her move toward you. Every deliberate pause, every measured word, every steady glance, creates a magnetic effect. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. It's the calmness in your voice, the discipline in your energy, the independence in your posture. Women sense confidence long before they understand it. Psychology explains why this works. The Zeigarnik Effect. Humans are drawn to what feels incomplete. When she can't fully figure you out, your motives, your thoughts, your emotions, her mind gravitates toward you. She becomes curious. She wants to decode you. Mystery activates the chase inside her. Independence strengthens this effect. A man who doesn't bend under external pressure, who doesn't seek validation, who moves with self-discipline becomes fascinating. She senses unpredictability, an element of danger and uncertainty that ignites desire. Curiosity becomes respect. Respect becomes attraction. Attraction becomes pursuit. Machiavelli emphasized influence through subtle guidance, not force. In seduction, this means you lead without appearing to lead. Your silences, pauses, and minimal responses act as signals. You are not desperate. You are not available to everyone. You are deeply confident. She feels it, even if she can't explain why. Timing matters, too. Never suffocate her with attention. Never remove the space where curiosity grows. When you allow pauses between interactions, she begins to wonder about you. Where you are. What you're doing. Why you're so calm. Her curiosity becomes the flame. You fuel it without ever touching it directly. Energy matters more than words. Your calm presence communicates power. Your discipline communicates value. Your intention communicates certainty. Women are drawn to this because they sense a life they cannot predict, control, or fully claim. That is the art of the subtle pull. You don't chase, she begins to. You don't convince, she becomes fascinated. You don't overwhelm, she leans in. It all begins with mastering yourself. Your emotions. Your presence. Your timing. Your silence. In this dance of attraction, every glance, every pause, every word becomes a tool of influence. The subtle pull is invisible, yet devastatingly effective. The natural chase. Attraction isn't created through luck, looks, or lines. The real reason a woman chases a man is because he becomes irreplaceable in her mind. When you combine scarcity, presence, purpose, and subtle influence, desire flows naturally. She no longer needs to be persuaded. Her pursuit becomes instinctive. Scarcity sets the foundation. Your attention is valuable. Presence adds power. Your energy is calm and grounded. Purpose adds depth. Your life has direction and vision. Subtlety completes the spell. Your mystery activates her curiosity. Schopenhauer said, "A woman loves a man who awakens in her a desire she cannot explain." That is the essence of real attraction. True seduction isn't manipulation. It's mastery. Mastery of your emotions, your standards, your time, and your purpose. She chases because your life has rhythm and value. Because your focus is disciplined. Because your world is intentional. Because your presence is rare. Machiavelli understood this deeply. Influence works best when it's invisible. Your consistency, your silence, your energy becomes the force guiding her toward you. She mirrors your pace, senses your value, and aligns with your rhythm. What feels like her choice is the natural result of your inner control. At this stage, attraction becomes fascination. You're not just interesting, you're unforgettable. Not because you forced it, but because you embodied it. Purpose protects your value. Presence amplifies it. Scarcity intensifies it. Mystery completes it. This is not about games. It's about becoming the man who naturally earns respect and desire. When you live with purpose, hold your standards, and protect your energy, women feel it immediately. They see a man who is rare. A man who is grounded. A man who cannot be ignored or replaced. That is true magnetism. If this helped you, like the video to lock in the strategy. Subscribe for more psychological tactics and masculine principles. And share your story below. Tell me if you've seen women chase men who hold their value. Your insights might inspire the next episode.